Hello again, welcome back to DigiFox Labs. I'm Mr. Fox. Today we're going to be talking about a new device available for those individuals who are interested in storing their Elrond tokens offline. Now, none of this is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Everything said here is 100% our opinion. So, as you know, we are quite bullish on Elrond for the long term in the macroeconomics aspect as far as cryptocurrencies are concerned. The utility case as well as the development is quite strong as opposed to other blockchains. And the infrastructure behind it is quite top-notch. So what device are we going on about? Well, we see here that Elrond has formed a partnership with a company called Egld, and it is a new offline storage solution for EJOD. It provides another way of storing your Elrond as opposed to the online wallet, the native wallet for Elrond, as well as Ledger. And so we see here on the Elrond.com blog, oh look, time to buy some Elrond. We see here that the Elrond ecosystem continues to expand. The need for enhancement asset security is becoming increasingly more apparent. Today, we take another major step towards offering the community a wider and more comprehensive range of options for safely storing their funds. The Engraved integration offers users a secure way to store EGLD offline on the zero hardware physical devices while enjoying the case of use of intuitive interface. The next step in our exciting collaboration, including expanding the present integration to also encompass ESDT tokens, offering projects building with internet scale blockchain technology, greater security for asset storage and management. And further in the article, it gives you a little bit about Elrond, which if you're not interested or if you're not adverse with Elrond, go ahead and take a read on that. And then here is Engrave, which is a security provider for all blockchain currencies, it looks like, for helping you self-manage your security. So what did we just read? In summary, it's a new device for you storing your EGLD tokens, and it also gives you the option to store ESDT tokens. What is an ESD token? An ESD token is something that individuals or businesses can create on the Elrond blockchain, so they can tokenize something. So for example, if we want to create a DigiFox Labs token for our viewers, we can absolutely do that. And frankly, it is quite affordable. And so we see here that this wallet here by Engrave supports all ESDT tokens. It looks like integration to also encompass. Yeah, so it looks like that. And so let's go ahead and go to the website. And we'll provide all this in the link in the description below. And we see here, here's what it looks like. It looks like a miniature hotspot or maybe a cell phone, it looks like right here, right? And the size of it is probably somewhere equivalent to a small cell phone or maybe a hotspot that you could get at your mobile provider for internet. Scrolling further down, we can see here that they go in on their typical advertisements. But what makes this very interesting is it is the first crypto wallet with the highest security certified OS in the world, which is EAL7. That's right. It is the highest security certified OS in the world, meaning that this new hardware wallet is the top. It is the cream of the crop. It is making Ledger shake in their pants. And they definitely, and I'm referring to they as an Engrave, brought their big boy pants, right? And we see here, these are some of the cryptos that they support: Sandbox, Crypto.com, Tether, Chainlink, Ripple, right? Binance, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and probably many others. And here is the back of it. I mean, that looks quite sick and wicked, right? Hold on, let me scroll up a little bit here. There we go, so you can see this. So yeah, that is clean and smooth. And look at this right here. This is what I believe is biometrics. So not only do you have the security for your seed phrase, but you also have to do biometrics, or maybe it gives you an option rather than you having to do it. It is 100% offline, which is considered the highest protection against online hackers. It does not use Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC, or USB. It is easy to use, which makes it one step above Ledger, because if you are unfamiliar with Ledger or if you're new to the crypto space, you find it very intimidating to operate a Ledger, which is this USB thing with some buttons on it, right? And then you have to keep verifying certain things. And even though that does provide some form of security, it can be overwhelming and give you quite a fear, right? Especially when you have thousands or even millions at stake, right? And you own your own crypto, which is the common narrative that we say in the space, which is if you don't own your keys, you don't own your crypto, right? And proof of that is in the new Voyager issue that just essentially took all your crypto. So if you had crypto on Voyager, we feel bad for you, but again, not your keys, not your crypto, right? And that's a perfect example. So let's go and go further down. It has 0 firmware updates, so they are constantly working on updates. And it looks like it does the NGRV1. What does that mean? Have no idea, but seems cool enough, right? And they've already got advertisement on Cointelegraph. Let's see here. Graphene. Forget paper wallet. Never lose your keys again with the first encrypted and recoverable backup. So you can see here, this is a cryptic device which helps you with your private keys and passwords. I mean your phrases, right? And so looking here, this looks very techy, right? I mean, this is just amazing in the aspect that this is available to the common consumer, and which is good because if you have, again, thousands or millions involved with cryptocurrencies, you want it to be safe, right? And here we go. It looks like something that you would use like in old school cryptic form, meaning that you would have a key and you would just have a bunch of random holes poked. So you have two devices, right? You have, let's say, a book, and then you want to relay a message to someone across the pond or across the street or in another country, and you poke holes in a separate piece of paper, and they hold this piece of paper over a book. And these holes, when combined together, give you a sentence or a story, right? And so that is something that they've incorporated with this, which looks like it's going to be made out of a harder, more resilient material. This cryptic thing here is actually considered everlasting. It's resistant to fire, water, floods, corrosion, shocks, as well as practically anything else. Let's see, both plates are encrypted and only together they will reveal the key. Oh, so this provides your private keys. So very, very, very much something you need to keep guarded. Restore your unique upper plate while your secret key remains safe. And so we scroll further down. You instantly receive and sign transactions without ever exposing your private keys, which is key. And this looks like a cell phone here so that you could go ahead and keep things in check and figure out what exactly the market is doing and what the value of your tokens are at whatever time. It gives you real-time overview, which we just indicated. Your perfect key is never exposed and remains offline. Easy, fast transactions. Buy and sell instantly using intuitive QR codes. That is interesting. So you could buy and sell instantly using intuitive QR codes. So maybe it provides a QR code every time you want to sell and buy. So that is interesting. Why hasn't anyone come up with that in the past? Leave it to engrave, right? So another key reason why you need to get on top of this. And not only that, but for those of you that are interested, they have the engraved Decentraland wearables. Now, what kind of utilities will this wearable have? Well, I would say that maybe you get a discount if you purchase these. Maybe you get airdropped a certain NFT or more NFTs, right? And so consider that a speculative discount on things to come if you purchase a wearable NFT or a hardware wallet from Engrave. Sorry, I just get a little bit right button click happy, it looks like. Scrolling further down, let's see, you manage your crypto. It is the most advanced key generation process. Yes, that we were correct. It is a two-factor authentication biometric security with an 8-digit PIN code. So it's not just your finger; it's also your digits that you need to remember. And that's that. So with that said, how much does all of this cost? Well, I'm glad you asked because it's not cheap, but neither is security. If you want proper security and proper safeguarding of your monies, it's going to cost you, right? And so we see here that it will be shipped on the next business day, and it's costing you roughly around 400 to 500 euros, depending on what kind of package you want, right? But starting off, you are going to literally be having to spend 400 euros. Now, if you have multiples of thousands and millions, it would behoove you to go ahead and just do this because it has the high security certification, meaning this is the newest and best hardware wallet out there on the market today. That's right. And you might as well go ahead and just get everything, right? Just go ahead and get everything. In fact, if you can, you could go ahead and get 2 of them. You just never know, right? Maybe give one as a gift, even though I wouldn't recommend accepting a gift from someone that gives you a hardware wallet, because that's just one of those things that it requires a lot of trust, and that kind of defeats the purpose, right? If you're going to accept a hardware wallet from someone you don't know, or accept a hardware wallet from anyone for that matter, because you don't know where it's been. So we are going to provide a link in the description below for individuals that are interested in this. If you do click on the link and purchase using said link, it will go. We do get a commission, as well as you helping the channel. All funds will go to helping the channel and produce more content and help upgrade our equipment as time goes on. Now, since we're going ahead and talking about Elrond hardware wallets, let's go ahead and look at the price. The price of Elrond is currently at $56, and the market cap is currently at 1.2 billion, right? Total supply is almost completely out there, with total supply being 24 million. So let's go ahead and do some TA real quickly. Now see here, if you've been following the channel, you can see we had some sort of a prediction going on as far as tops and bottom, and we formed this channel that we're in right now. It kind of has been invalidated, kind of not. As long as it hugs the bottom portion of this, it's still somewhat valid. Now, it's not, our lines aren't exactly perfect. I mean, we could kind of move this one down a little bit, right? But it ends up being a little bit off. But if we put this a little bit right there we go, it hugs the whole bottom part. So we're trying to get back into this megaphone pattern that we're forming, right? And we had this theory in that it's forming its ups and downs in a cycle pattern, and as long as we stay at the bottom, our next leg is going to be all the way up to roughly around the $800 region, because now we're going to be forming like what looks like a reddish bear market, which we already are in an Elrond bear market and have been since November of 2021. So are we going to flip it? Are we going to be bouncing and coming back up? Maybe, potentially. We see here that it is a very viable option. Money is currently coming in, but it looks like slowly it is trickling out. Now let's go ahead and go to the 4 hour, because this is the daily, and let's see where can we expect Elrond to go in the short term. And we see here we did come across what looks like a couple of things actually. So in the short term, we have a couple of things looking not very good, right? This looks like, if you come down here, this looks like potentially a bear flag, right? Like this, right? It's just bouncing around in there. And it did form what looks like a test right there, a test right there, and a test right there. And so it looks like we might be going all the way up to the $65 mark, okay? And that is one scenario. We are staying in this channel, and sorry for the lines not being exactly, but I mean roughly we're going in around maybe the 70, maybe 65. But what is key to know, if you zoom in and look roughly around in this region right here, right, we did get a death cross, what it looks like, on the 4 hour, but it looks like it is coming around maybe. So what you're looking for is it potentially to come up and test right in this region, and then come back down and re-verify on the 50 MA, I believe it is, or even the 200 MA. And once it does that, then we could start seeing what's going to happen. So that is one scenario. It may come back down, and as long as it holds, well, then that is, you know, I'm not going to say it's bullish, but it's a positive thing, right? But if it does not, our next level that we're going to be going at, if it doesn't hold, is actually going to be all the way down here to the $50 region. So there's so much going on right now. The U.S. government just announced that they reported not one, but 2 back-to-back months of negative GDP, which is the definition of a recession. They have not announced officially that there is going to be a recession, because that would literally just scare the living life out of retail investors and anyone that's invested in the market. But we see here that we are coming to a peak, and it's looking decent. Now, looking in the long-term aspects, right? Let's go ahead and see where we are. Even though this is what looks like potentially a channel and even a bear flag, the next thing, if it breaks, is going to be, the way you measure this is from the top right here all the way down. So you take that and then you measure it, and worst case scenario, if we break, we could go and see maybe $3, $5 actually, somewhere around there, right? And how far down we go really depends on a lot of stuff, right? And the reason I say we could go all the way to $5 is because look where we have a lot of support. And that is from the original holders right around that area, which averages around $7. So you're looking at $5 to $7. That's how far low we could go. At which point, if we do reach that, I would say you take out whatever cash you can and you buy Elrond, because that would make it a double bottom, right? Because if we do come down to that area of support, which dates back 2 years ago, right? We have a bottom, we have a rounded bottom right here before we went up, and then we will come down, and more than likely we will form another bottom like this. At which point, when you zoom out, right, when you zoom out and when you have two rounded bottoms, right, that gives you a double bottom. That gives you almost a W form, right? And so we see here what that would do initially was that would put us back into a region within this megaphone pattern. And then after that, you're just riding it all the way up to about $800. Why do we say $800? Well, we feel that the next bull cycle is going to be roughly around $800. So if you want to start dollar cost averaging in right now, or maybe on the next dip, it would not be a bad idea. But we do see worst case scenario. Again, we're not saying it's going to, but worst case scenario is $5 to $7 for every EGLD token. And that will probably be short-lived. Now, the next highest peak that we could possibly see currently, if it goes down to that level, is going to be, let's just go ahead and pull out our fibs, and it is going to be the 1618 level, which is $1,000. Now, the reason we say that is because we are starting the fibs from the all-time highs and taking it all the way down to the $7 region, $7 region, all-time lows. So that is quite the multiples, right? That's more than 100x, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's more than 100x. And so this is why it's key that you focus on Elrond, because not only are they coming out with offline wallets, but they're also building continuously, and it's faster than Ethereum, and they are literally building under the radar with minimal updates, and the updates that they do have are grander than anything's ever seen. I mean, they already have a DEX. They already are working on NFTs. They have a couple of NFT marketplaces, I'm not concerned. So in the grand scheme of things, if you want a better ROI, if you want the best ROI currently, it's not Ethereum, it's not Binance, it's not MATIC, it's Elrond. So with that said, happy days, happy trading, and good luck to you all.